Another reason for fasting is for power over unclean spirits and demonic strongholds. There may be things in your life that you are not able to pray out, you're not able to get disciplined out, you're not able to willpower it out. I believe in all of those things. I think all of those things have their place and all of those things are beneficial, but sometimes there are things that have to be cast out, and you only have that power from prayer and fasting. Let me show you in Matthew chapter 17, verse 14. It said, when they had come to the multitude, a man came to him is Jesus, kneeling down to him, saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he's an epileptic and suffers severely, for he often falls into the fire and often into the waters. So I brought him to your disciples, but they could not cure him. Now I just want to take a pause here. When he says he's an epileptic and he's falling into the fire and into the water, in just a moment we're going to be able to read that he was actually possessed by demons. So this wasn't just a medical issue, because I understand that there are people that have epilepsy and have seizures and that it's not a demon. I want to be very clear in this teaching. And I think it's very telltale that it says he falls into the fire and into the water. So this demon is actually trying to get this boy to end his life. That's kind of what we get from reading in between the lines. So this is not just a medical issue. This is actually a demonic possession, and he brings him to the disciples. The Father brings the Son to the disciples, but they're not able to cure him. They're not able to cast the demon out. So catching up in verse 17, then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I bear with you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. So we see that it wasn't just a medical issue, that this was a demonic possession. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, why could we not cast it out? So Jesus said to them, because of your unbelief, for assuredly I say to you, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. So what Jesus is saying is that there are some things in life that you just have to have faith for. There are some things that we need to pray for, we need to believe for, and if we say it, if we speak to this mountain with the faith the size of a mustard seed, that it'll happen. But he says there are some kinds that don't come out except by prayer and by fasting. And this is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it's pretty clear. I mean, Jesus makes it very clear in this passage that not everything is going to just come out by willpower. Not everything is just going to come out by a 12-step program. Not everything is going to come out by reading a self-help book. And all of those things, again, have their place and can be beneficial. But this says that this kind don't come out except by prayer and by fasting. So I want to ask you, are there areas of your life that you've tried everything else? You've tried every other solution. You've tried everything else that the Bible offers. You've tried confession, reading the scripture, prayer. You've even tried maybe worldly methods. And I don't say worldly in like a bad way, but I'm just saying you've tried reading books. You've tried to go to counseling. You've tried programs, and none of that has worked. Well, possibly it could be that you have something that you need to get out by prayer and fasting. Now, again, I want to be clear, this can be taken so out of context. I'm not saying that you are possessed. I'm not saying that, you don't have willpower to overcome, these different things. But I am saying that there are some kinds, I'm just reading the Bible here, there are some kinds that do not come out except by prayer and fasting. So if you want to have power over demonic spirits, if you want to have power to help other people, maybe you see, men and women of God that are able to cast out unclean spirits and are able to do deliverance ministry and different things like that. If you want to have that power, fasting is an essential part of that, because there are some things that will not come out except by prayer and fasting.